what are you absolutely enduringly passionate about? What gets you so excited? And it can stay. That excitement is calm, but like arousing in a way.
When was the last time you checked in with your partner on this? Like one of our clients has been together for 13 years. They've been married 13 years. They fell out of passions. Not only passions that they used to love, but they didn't have anything in common anymore.
Conscious couples, business partners, and individuals, welcome to the Conscious Couples podcast, where we share our life, love story, and relationship expertise to help you consistently cultivate the most magnificent relationship possible.
Never again will you feel hopeless and alone in your intimate relationship challenges. We'll help you have the courage to be your authentic self, communicate effectively, and constructively resolve conflict.
Having accumulated thousands of hours coaching, speaking, podcasting, and hosting live events with conscious couples all over the world, Alan and I are here to guide you in all things relationships.
Thank you again for tuning into the one place where it's not about you or me, it's about the we. Conscious couples and individuals from all over the world, welcome back to another episode of the Conscious Couples podcast. Thank you for joining us today. We have episode 203. Do you and your partner have passions in common? Hopefully, yes. I want to say something before I jump into this episode that I never say before.
Ooh.
What you pay attention to, what you hear and what you see is determining your future more than I ever could have fathomed. So the fact that you're paying attention to Emilia and I, of all the noise in the world, means a lot to us. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Before I jump into this episode, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Next Level Podcast Solutions for producing this podcast and 83 others. Mental health, personal growth, self-improvement, personal development, self-help. We are bringing personal development to the masses, my love.
Yay!
Including producing Evolve Ventures podcast with Emilia and Bianca, Next Level University podcast with me and Kevin. So thank you to our amazing global community. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Sweetheart, what is your intention for today's episode?
So my intention for today's listeners is to really reflect on their relationship and see where their passions that they have individually could in fact overlap, and to deepen that practice, because passion in practice creates a meaningful, fulfilling life, especially for conscious couples.
So this word of engagement, we were talking earlier, prepping for this episode, about Emilia and I have a show that we both loved. It was called Untamed.
Oh, so good.
There you go. Okay. Loved it.
Loved it.
It's
full body love.
Was filmed in Yellowstone.
It's beautiful.
No, not Yellowstone. What's the name of the park in California? Beautiful Nature.
It's escaping me right now.
Okay. So the point, though, is while we had a mutual passion for that show, definitely did, it isn't as engaging as if you and I are playing chess, or you and I are doing philanthropy, or you and I are doing books for babes, or you and I are at the Next Level Hope Foundation together, or you and I are doing math together.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so you just saw her light up if you're on YouTube. We've been doing math together, which has been
I love math.
More fun for her than me.
For sure.
Math is something that comes naturally to me, and I struggle to teach it.
It comes naturally to me, but not as naturally as Alan, and I am not someone who is incredibly gifted in math in comparison. And so learning about how I do naturally gravitate towards math, but not knowing how to explain it, is fascinating. So for Alan to try to share how you get there, like for example, the other morning we were doing a math problem and I'm like, teach me how your brain is getting there. He's like, I don't know.
I have no idea.
But like that, if
my brain just gives me the answer.
If people were to observe us, right? If people were to observe us, they would think that that's not something that you and I, like, we're frustrated. We actually care so much. We're so engaged and we're so passionate about it. That's why sometimes it might get so intense.
Well, picture a couple that isn't engaged at all. They don't have any mutual passions. They're not doing things together. You and I are going to start doing some archery together. We're excited for, which we both did in the past. And so that's exciting. But at the end of the day, a couple that's engaged and passionate is always going to be more likely to succeed than one that's watching TV zoned out.
Well, you're alive.
That's what I'm saying.
You're moving the body.
Let's go.
The mind, the spirit.
So this is what I have written down. Emilia and I's mutual passions, we want you thinking of yours. Fitness, for sure. This is actually where this came up. I, today, saw your Instagram reel of all the workouts in 2025. I don't know how you created that video. That's awesome.
It was a template that I had used, and I just like plug and play.
Crushed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Big fan
crushed
of
it. Although
templates.
I'm not a huge fan of the song you chose. This is the first she's hearing of this.
I'm a big Eminem fan, but I know it's a little aggressive.
Yeah, it's
But I reached down deep when
Yeah.
How do you think I built this?
Nice. Nice.
I understand.
No. But I also think that song brings back bad memories for me because when that song was popular, I didn't like him or people who liked him. My
That makes
stepdad liked
sense.
him and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, geez.
Anyways,
Okay.
so my point is, fitness is a huge passion we have in common. And when I saw that reel, I had this moment of, even if this wasn't my partner, I would be inspired. And I would want to hang out with you.
Oh,
Even if we weren't
thanks.
together, you know? And I think that's, a lot of couples lose that. They're passionate in the honeymoon phase, the first year, and then they start to drift apart, right? So that's what we want to prevent from happening.
Well,
So fitness, philanthropy, film,
I
personal
want to
growth.
add on something on that because same thing happens with me. You had created a reel on the Next Level Hope Foundation, and what had happened, Alan and Kevin had hosted Next Level Hope Foundation as they do every single year, which is a day that they rent out the YMCA gym, and
Thank you to anyone who contributed.
they have kids that are kids of single parents come in. There's games, there's activities, there's athleticism, there's surprise gifts. There's you allow Books for Babes to partner with you guys, which is awesome. And it's just like, it's such a fun experience for little kids. And you had taken the footage that I took from your iPhone, put that together. And I tried to capture little meaningful moments along the way. And the reel that you put together that showcased really the day, it was such a meaningful reel. And same experience that you just articulated that I had with you. If you weren't even my partner, I would see that and feel so inspired by the work that you do in the world and by who you choose to be. As you know, you could have done 1,000 different things that day, a million different things. And you could have done a million different things in December, and you choose to focus on that outside of business work. Right. And so like the inspiration that I receive from you and just what you do in this world, it goes beyond just admiration and adoration, which are two words that when we talk about passion, I feel so engaged in. So I admire the work that you do. I'm inspired by the work that you do, and I adore what you do in the world. And so that, I think, for me, are the pillars of passion, because seeing you do that, it makes me just want to gravitate towards you and what you do. So I had a very similar experience when it comes to the philanthropy work that you showcased.
So thank you, my love. Emilia and I right now, one more key passion that I want to share. So we went and saw Avatar 3 this past weekend. And the amount that you valued that experience is similar to mine. And growing up, film for me was just an absolute passion. Just adored it. And I think the Avatar films are the best film series in history. And I think the mastery that has gone into those films, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, is unreal.
It's pieces of art,
Yep.
living, breathing art.
Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Deeply meaningful. And also the teaching that they do through film of valuing the earth and
Stewardship,
about humanity and ego and all that stuff.
leadership.
But you and I could tell when we were there that you were 10 out of 10 engaged. As a matter of fact, at one point...
to a point where... Sure, go.
Okay, so Emilia and I both had to pee. 'Cause this is a 3 hour and 17-minute movie.
Yeah.
Actually, exactly. 3 hours, 17 minutes. And we missed 3 minutes of it. Emilia took too long to pee. No, I'm kidding. But what we did is filmed the part that we missed, which, by the way, is illegal. But it's okay. You're fine. Look at her face.
Sorry,
we're gonna be
James
fine.
Cameron.
Don't worry, we're fine.
We're a big fan. We swear.
Yeah. We'll pay you the
We'll delete it right after.
Yeah, we'll delete it right after.
But it was that we did. But then on top of that, there was a time where I was like really engaged, literally on the edge of my seat, and you were like, "Come back, come back."
So
and I was like,
you were basically over the railing.
we had a nice VIP section all to ourselves. It was amazing. But yeah.
So this is a story that represents another mutual passion, because imagine if I loved that and Emilia was just like,
boring.
But yeah, exactly. That would suck.
Yeah.
I would not want to go to the movies with you.
Yeah.
And so there are certain things that Emilia do not have in common. You mentioned watercolors. Right.
I go. We're trying to figure out, like, what is one thing that we're not really mutually
Because
passionate
we have a lot
about.
of things in common.
We are,
We don't
yeah.
have very much that isn't,
Yeah.
but I do think watercolors.
This is
probably.
true. And I go, I would love like 2 hours just like with this sun right now, like just a studio, 2 hours of just total immersion into my watercolor and painting, like just coming from the soul. And Alan's like, yeah, and here's my elephant. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I think, no, you just made fun of it. You do not have that impact.
And
like,
by
you're not
elephant,
passionate
I
about
meant
that.
that's what I would draw.
That's what you
in
would draw.
watercolors.
Which
So
you don't
no,
draw in watercolors, but that's fine.
Fair.
Exactly.
I don't care.
Exactly.
And I don't want to pretend to care either.
Yeah, nor should you.
And no, I'm not.
Nor
I
do
never
I
really
want you.
was a big fan of art class.
Yeah.
Not into it.
Yeah.
So science and engineering, mathematics over here, the art wasn't necessarily my forte. And that doesn't mean I'm closed off to it. If you want to do some watercolors, I can painstakingly do it with you.
Perfect.
But the truth is, you uncover passions within yourself, within the me, the me's, and then the we, right here, if you're on YouTube, I'm pointing to it, is supposed to be the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So,
Right.
Emilia, in her greatness, is supposed to expose me to things that I never would have experienced on my own, and vice versa. So, one example is you brought me to the Biltmore Gardens. That is a passion for you. Gardening and plants and botany is a deep passion for you.
Yes.
Not as much for me, but you've exposed me to it, and I've started to love it in my own way.
Right.
So,
Cool.
for the couples listening, my Remarkable just locked me out.
While
one
he does this, one thing that I was talking to Alan about recently, and you'll remember this, I was trying to articulate, I think it was in our gratitudes, like how grateful I am for you, because I remember being in partnerships of the past where being in myself, the truest form of myself, didn't necessarily bring more freedom to that other person. And you being your truest version of yourself, what you value, what you don't, what you're passionate about, what you're not, and could care less about, you being the honest version of yourself has brought me a freedom within myself that has been something that is like so valuable. And when we talk about passions, you being as passionate as you are without any hesitation about what you are passionate about has allowed me this freedom to be passionate about what I love and I care about. Unabashedly.
Can you give an example of a past partner where you felt like caged by their passions? Like watching football games or whatever?
I mean, that's a very easy one. I think that I don't know if I could really put it on a scale of passion, because for me, what passion means is like an enduring love, an enduring excitement. You can never not be curious about it. You can always learn about it. That's like passion in action. And for me, past partners really didn't exhibit passion about anything.
Really?
No, it was very much like kind of go with the flow of things. And there was maybe one partner that was passionate about the athletics that they would do, but like I wouldn't put that on the scale of passion that you and I have.
Whoa.
But what it's like to be with
So
past
what? They're
people.
just kind of checking the box?
It's like baseline, like, cool, I'm doing this thing. Passion is like not just check the box, like so excited to go arrive there.
Yeah.
And then get your full immersion in that, the full engagement experience in that.
Okay, so the Biltmore you brought me to,
Yeah.
and this is something that was on Emilia's bucket list for however long. You had it on Pinterest.
It was
and all
amazing,
that.
yeah.
The Biltmore Gardens.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget the picture we took under the atrium. Yeah. So what was that like, and I want you to speak honestly here, obviously, for you to be with someone who didn't even know this existed prior to that? And obviously the library lit me up, because the library there was something that I've always wanted.
Yeah.
But I wasn't particularly passionate about the Biltmore, but I also know that I can get very engaged and passionate about things. So it's not like you came to the Biltmore with someone who like couldn't, that was on their bucket list too.
Right.
But
there's something to be said about how you got behind that. And there's a quote in Avatar 2, where we just watched Way of Water 2, where the captain of the ship that gets commandeered by the military guy, what's his name again? Quaritch. The captain of the ship is like, are you the a-hole that's commandeering my ship? And he's like, Yes, or something like that. And they have this engagement. And essentially he says, like, you pretty much have to go along with what
I'll
as
ask
court.
nicely
I'll ask nicely
once.
And
then after that.
Yeah. Then
He
after
said if
that.
you can't get out of it, get into it.
Yeah, so the captain goes, well, if you can't get out of it, get into it. And that's essentially
exactly.
what just came up.
Even though
as
that
he said
character
that.
sucks.
He sucks and is a horrible human
But that
being.
is a good quote.
It's a great quote, and it represents essentially what that felt like for me, for anything that I brought you into, kind of this open world about the world that I'm passionate about, botany. It's like you could very well be like, cool, and like move on. Instead, you go within, you reach within of like, what do I find interesting? What do I find fascinating about this? What do I find within me that we can build a bridge of shared meaning that we can both be passionate about?
So, well, I think that's the core value underneath all this, which is meaning, learning, growth, expansion. So we have all those. But for the listeners, how do they get their partners or get themselves to be more passionate? Because if you think of a couple that's passionately in love, you think of a couple that's engaged. Remember Hope Springs with Meryl Streep and
Steve Carell. And
Steve Carell and
what was the other dude?
I forget his name, to be honest. He was in Men in Black way back.
I don't know.
I do think he's a great actor. But at the end of the day, it was Meryl Streep and her husband in this film that we did for a Relationship Talks virtual event. And there couldn't be less passion in their marriage. They were 30 years in or whatever.
That's a lot of channels.
Yeah, okay. So the quote that Emilia is referring to there, I got to provide context, is the kids are over because they're older. They're in their 60s or 70s.
Yeah.
And they've been married for 30 years, whatever it is, 30, 40.
It's like their 30-something anniversary.
And for their anniversary, the kids are asking, oh, what'd Dad get you for your anniversary? And she's like, well, we got new cable subscription. and the kids are like, oh. And she's like, it's a lot of channels.
A lot of channels.
AKA.
Like, trying to spruce it up and get passionate about it.
Yeah,
but
they are
like,
disengaged.
Yeah.
And they don't kiss. And by the end of the movie, they transform, spoiler alert, and they start actually kissing, and they're passionate again.
Yeah.
So that's really what Emilia and I are talking about in this episode, because I know we got to get out of here soon. Identify the problem. Very few couples have highly engaging passions that they do consistently with each other. And I do think that one of the reasons you and I have such a great relationship and we don't fight and we're on the same page and we have goals together, I think we have very, very, very similar core values and passions. Very similar.
We do.
There's very few things I like that you hate and things that you like that I hate.
The only thing
Watercolors
is
is funny, but yeah, I do hate spicy food. I
Yeah.
do. And I don't really like horror films.
Yeah.
And Emilia doesn't really like horror films, but you'll like, so for example, what's another one? Red Dragon and the Hannibal movie.
Yeah, those are fantastic.
You thought those were fascinating. I was like, fuck this movie.
Yeah, it's dark.
So it is. And so at the end of the day, though, this is the solution that we have written down here. Get clear on what is and isn't something that you are and aren't passionate about. Because I wonder to myself, when was the last time you checked in with your partner on this? Because if you've been together for 10 years, like one of our clients has been together for 13 years, they've been married 13 years, past client, they fell out of passions. Not only passions that they used to love, but they didn't have anything in common anymore. I know you're wondering who I'm talking about.
No, I'm kind of just contemplating this whole thing in general.
Well,
because I genuinely, you've asked me a couple of questions and I was going back to the Biltmore of like how it's like, if you can't get out of it, get into it. It's not that you couldn't get out of it. You actually were the one that was like, hey babes, kind of handle this shit show of a trip that we had done, the road trip.
But we did
salvage this.
But we did the Leonardo da Vinci exhibit.
I'm talking about the second time when we went there.
Oh, okay.
The second time we had gone there, you had to salvage this road trip. Like, why don't we actually check off that bucket list item?
Yeah.
Because that was the atrium on the first time we visited, but we never thought we were going to come back to the Biltmore Gardens ever again.
Yeah.
Which was the ultimate bucket list, was like the actual gardens.
Well, there's two things here. One is lighting you up is a passion of mine.
Same.
Okay. So that's one. So there's like these levels, right? Level 1 is seeing you lit up is level 1. Level 2 is seeing you lit up, but it's something that I also adore, is level 2. Level 3 is something that it's like 10 out of 10 for both of us.
Like last night.
Avatar 3 was 10 out of 10 for both of us.
For sure. Last night, you and I, Christmas had the whole gym to ourselves. We were stronger. We were more lit up. We were just like all of us with no one around. That was like, you and I are so
Empty
passionate
gym,
about fitness.
Yeah, full. It was the best. Full gym for a full hour. Okay, so I want to bring this back to the listeners. So how do they, number one, I uncover what passions you actually still have? Because I think some passions in the past I don't care about anymore. Like I used to drink and I used to, like, I don't care about any of that anymore.
I don't think that was a passion per se. I think that we are so ridiculous. Human beings are so ridiculous.
Okay, let me give you a better one. Video games.
Perfect.
I used to play video games and I used to be very passionate about competitive gaming.
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore by choice. And so there are certain things you used to do that maybe you can bring back. There's certain things that you still do that maybe you should get rid of. And then at very least figure out what core passions you have in common. That's what I would say to end this episode.
I'm right there with you. And I think what I've observed of you is you are passionate about game theory and you're passionate about the strategy that you used to apply in first-person shooter games. And so you bring that passion into the life that you've designed now. And that's how you bring a thread of that passion, not back, but integrate it into your future.
100%.
And so I think that why I say I think humans are ridiculous, I think we're so fearful to actually dig deep and find out what we do actually love enduringly. I think that takes a lot of risk.
Why?
To be authentic to who you are, regardless of what other people think. For me to say like openly and talk about like how I would love 2 hours just watercolor, like I am taking a social risk of like quote unquote what people might think of me. I don't
being
care.
made fun of or whatever.
Yeah, I don't care.
So because
but that vulnerability is so important. So number one, I'm with you right there. What are you absolutely enduringly passionate about? What gets you so excited and it can stay? That excitement is calm, but like arousing in a way. Number one. Number two, create a Venn diagram of what you are passionate about, what your partner is passionate about, and see what falls in the middle.
100%. Yeah.
And then number three, I would say if anyone wants to actually apply this, like I said, per my intention, into a practice, find a way, design a system, reach out to Alan and myself to integrate the passion to be a practice within your week to week, your month to month, and ultimately your year to year.
We have a couple that we coach that is doing a game night once a week. They both love that. Yeah. So these little things change your whole life, because if they light you both up, you're going to be more engaged, you're going to have a better relationship. Two people in a great state that are overflowing, their cups are overflowing with passion and engagement, 10 times better than people just going through the motions, checking the box. Is there anything you want to add before we go?
Right. You and I mentioned 3 things that we're both passionate about, and I just want to put this. Fitness is you and I are passionate because it's full body engagement. Philanthropy is heart engagement. And then the third one that we mentioned was film. That was mind passion. So there's different elements of passion, and to the word that we introduced, the engagement. If you want to add a nuanced layer to anyone that's watching this, like, what do you find is your quote unquote level of passion? Are you more mind heavy? Are you more body heavy? Are you more spirit and soul and heart, right? And that's where the quote unquote philanthropy is for us. The body is the physical fitness, and then the mind is the film. So maybe if you want that distinction and notice yourself gravitating towards more body passion, figure out how that could land in your relationship and where you guys overlap.
Well, I think the passions that are the most meaningful have all of them: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual.
100%.
And then when you do that together, it's we watched a film that said happiness only exists when shared, fulfillment when shared. Fitness has become so much more meaningful when we do it together.
Yeah.
Workouts alone aren't the same.
They're not.
So find that with your partner. And then when you can weave goals in, it's a whole nother thing. All right, so we got to get out of here because I have a coaching session in 3 minutes. Speaking of coaching, Emilia and I, we will not only help you to be better individuals and better as a couple, but we'll also help you achieve your goals and dreams. We have couples that are building their dreams together. They're on the same page, climbing the same mountain. And it is honestly, a lot of their peers are starting to notice that they're the most on-point couple there is. One of our relationship talks coaching clients that we've been coaching are starting to be seen as the leaders of their entire family group. Awesome. And it's really because of the work they're doing behind the scenes. So the first one is free. Give it a shot. I'm very excited. I know you're listening. You and your wife are listening. Book, because it's going to be this week. I'm very excited for you two to get into the relationship talks coaching fold, because they're going to be starting a business together.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so
That's very challenging.
yes,
Very challenging.
we know that because we still have a business together.
And one of the best things you can do.
Exactly.
from my perspective.
So if you're out there watching or listening, do not hesitate. One courageous moment changes your entire future. Click the link in the show notes. The first one is free. And if you have trouble getting on the calendar, make sure you DM Emilia or I, because we'll try to make this a priority.
Absolutely. In addition to that, one of the things that couples fight so often about, and from our perspective really don't need to, is at the end of the day, finances are something that you and your partner are truly either on the same page about or not. And most couples are not. And so the fights that you have some rooting in two people having two separate finances, not on the same page. So our next relationship talk event is going to help you have that freedom feeling of being on the same page. And it's going to be all about how to actually align with your partner on finances. This is something that so many couples struggle with. Do not be that couple that struggles to the end of fighting, to the end of tearing apart your relationship from within. We have got your back. So click the link in the show notes to register for that. That will be January 15th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we hope to see you there.
Conscious couples and individuals, love is not built in a day. It's built every single day, one small step at a time. Thank you again for listening. As always, it's not about you or me. It's about the we. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Conscious Couples podcast. We love connecting with the Conscious Couples community, so please check the show notes to connect with us and say hello on social media.
If you and your partner resonated with this episode, please leave us a 5-star review at the link in the show notes and share this with someone you love. Until next time, it's not about you or me, it's about the we. We'll talk to you next time.